Hello class, this is Tanya Bhattacharjee and I am going to take a class on microeconomics. The topic is demand. Now to be a demand, you should understand what does demand means. You demand so many things to your parents. You demand bike, you demand scooty, you demand phone, you demand this and you demand that. आप लोग को कितना इच्छा होना चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, etc. But actually ये demand है क्या? Actually ये demand है क्या? To understand this, we are going in details. What does demand means? Now, demand होने के लिए तीन चीजें बहुत जरूरी है. To be a demand, there should be three things. First is what? Desire to buy a good. First is what? Desire to buy a good. Now, what does desire to buy a good means? Desire to buy a good means, suppose you have a desire to buy a bike. Suppose you have desire to buy a bike. वो इच्छा अंदर में होनी चाहिए कि नहीं, मुझे एक तो बाइक चाहिए और आई नीड अ आईफोन और आई नीड दिस एंड दैट. सो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट कंपोनेंट इज व्हाट? देयर शुड बी डिजायर. दिल में इच्छा होना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट? परचेजिंग पावर. परचेजिंग पावर मीन्स व्हाट? यू शुड हैव मनी इन योर हैंड्स. पैसा चाहिए. पैसा बिना कुछ नहीं होता है. सो यू शुड हैव मनी इन योर हैंड्स. सो डिजायर टू बाय, परचेजिंग पावर. एंड थर्ड वन इज व्हाट? विलिंगनेस टू spend. Willingness to spend means you should have some will. Suppose आपके पास you need to buy a bike. आपको एक तो बाइक खरीदना चाहिए. सेकेंड, आपको क्या हो गया कि मम्मी पापा ने आपको पैसा दे दिया, मनी. थर्ड, you don't want to buy. बाइक खरीद करके क्या होगा? Then it is not a demand. To be a demand, there should be three things: desire, purchasing, and the same time willingness to spend. So we will go through by the definition of economics. By demand for a commodity, we mean the desire for the commodity backed by the purchasing power and the willingness to spend. इधर में मैंने एक डायग्राम यूज किया है. एक बंदा है जो साइकिल खरीदना चाहता है. उसका पापा ने उसको पैसा दे दिया है. And third is that he needs to buy and he goes out in the market to buy that cycle. So this is called a demand in economics. Now, to be demand, there are two types of demand. First is individual demand and second one is market demand. Now, what does individual demand means? Individual demand means एक आदमी का demand, एक person का, one person's demand. Individual demand for a commodity refers to the amount of that a consumer is willing to buy at different prices. एक आदमी का कितना डिमांड हो सकता है at different prices is called what? Individual demand. To understand this, suppose there is one shop here and you alone go to the shop to buy the things, then it is called what? Individual demand. But when a group of persons goes to the market to buy things, then it is called what? Market demand. जैसे इधर में बहुत लोग गए हैं सामान खरीदने के लिए, तब ये क्या है? मार्केट डिमांड. जब एक आदमी जाता है या एक आदमी का अपना डिमांड रखता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड व्हाट? इंडिविजुअल डिमांड. जब बहुत सारे लोग एक रखते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड व्हाट? मार्केट डिमांड. नाउ इंडिविजुअल डिमांड, देयर आर सर्टेन फैक्टर्स ऑफ डिमांड. मैं जब मार्केट जाती हूँ, व्हाट आर द थिंग्स दैट आई टेक इन माइंड व्हाइल आई परचेज अ गुड? आप जब मार्केट जाते हो, आप अपना दिमाग में कुछ सोच के जाते हो कि ये क्राइटेरिया फुलफिल होगा तभी मैं सामान खरीदूंगा. सो व्हाट आर दिस क्राइटेरिया और व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स? वी विल डिस्कस वन बाय वन. फर्स्ट इज दैट ओन प्राइस ऑफ द कमोडिटी. फर्स्ट इज व्हाट? ओन प्राइस ऑफ द कमोडिटी. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है, ओन प्राइस ऑफ द कमोडिटी. ओन प्राइस ऑफ द कमोडिटी मीन्स व्हाट? द price of the commodity. If price is high, then demand will be less. And if price is low, then demand will be high. Is that clear? So whenever we go to buy certain things, we see what is the price of the good. अगर वो सस्ता में मिल रहा है, then we purchase the thing. अगर उसका दाम बहुत ज्यादा है, तब हम लोग उसका डिमांड कम करते हैं. So this is an important point, is that own price of the commodity. उस पर्टिकुलर सामान का दाम कितना है और what is the price of that good. Now, price of the commodity is an important factor of demand. Higher the price, lower the demand, and vice versa. Next is what? Nature of the commodity. Next is what? Nature of the commodity. Nature एक बहुत important चीज है. Now, what does nature shows? Nature shows what? There are two types of goods. One is complementary goods and other one is substitute goods. Now, complementary goods are those goods which are jointly demanded. Which are jointly demanded. एक दूसरे के बिना अधूरा है. एक दूसरे के बिना अधूरा है. You are jointly demanding that good. और you for example pen and paper. आपके पास पेन है लेकिन आपके पास पेपर नहीं है तो वो पेन किसी काम के नहीं आएगा. At the same time, car and petrol. You have car but you don't have petrol in it, then it is also not a complementary. Then you cannot run the car because without petrol car nahi chalegi. So when we demand the things in a joint manner, it is called what? Complementary goods. It is called what? Complementary goods. Next is substitute goods. एक के बिना दूसरा चला सकते हैं. Substitute goods are those in place of one good we can use other good. Example, tea, coffee, coke, Pepsi. Suppose टी के जगह आप कॉफी पी सकते हैं, कोक की जगह पेप्सी पी सकते हैं, और you can use Colgate in place of Pepsodent. You can use Britannia biscuit in case of Sunfish biscuit. So these are all close substitute to each other. So substitute goods are those goods in place of one good we are using other goods. Now example in this diagram, suppose if price of Coca-Cola increases, then demand for Pepsi will increase. And if price of Coca-Cola falls, if the price of Coca-Cola falls, then demand for Pepsi may go down. So this is what? Price of one good is affecting the price of other good. Next is what? Demand for commodity is influenced by the income of the consumer. Income is an important factor. Demand for a commodity is influenced by the income of the consumer. Normal goods are those goods which have positive income effect. I have not written the example. I want to explain you. The fact is that normal goods are those goods with the increase in income, your demand increases. With the increase in income, your demand increases. Suppose you like pizza, Domino's pizza, you like a lot. Now, when you like Domino's pizza, now with your pocket money, you can manage to have pizza maybe one day in a week. You can manage to have pizza one day in a week. But when your income increases, you might have Domino's pizza 3 days in a week. You might have Domino's pizza 3 days in a week. So it is called what? Normal good. As income increases, demand also increases. So you can put your example as you wish. You can use the concept of pizza, you can use the concept of McDonald's, you can use the concept of Starbucks, whatever you like. When your income increases, you start increasing the consumption of that good is called what? Normal goods. मोमोज आई हैव गिवन. सपोज यू लाइक मोमोज, आपको मोमोज बहुत पसंद है, तो हफ्ता में 2 दिन या 3 दिन आप मोमोज मैनेज करते हैं आपके पॉकेट मनी से. When your income increases, when your pocket money increases, it may so happen that every day you consume momo. So momo is an example of what? Normal goods. Next is what? Inferior goods. Inferior goods are those goods which have negative income effect. What does it mean? When income increases, just a second. When income increases, demand falls. When income increases, demand falls. Now, how this happens? Suppose you are having one phone. Suppose every one of you are having one smartphone with you. After few days or after few years, when you will start earning income, तब आपको ये phone फीका लगेगा, ये अच्छा नहीं है. Then you like to desire to have a better quality phone. So what happened is that as your income has increased, you tend to move towards better quality. वो फोन खराब नहीं है, वो फोन इंफीरियर नहीं है, बट आपको लगता है कि वो खराब है, वो इंफीरियर है. इट्स अ माइंडसेट. So as income increases, we tend to go to better quality. Suppose आपका everyone suppose आपके पास साइकिल है, आपके पास टू व्हीलर है. With the increase in income, आपको वो टू व्हीलर में चलना अच्छा नहीं लगता. You want to go with फोर व्हीलर. पहले हम छोटा छोटा फास्ट फूड कॉर्नर में खाना खाते थे. विद द इंक्रीज इन इनकम यू वांट टू गो इन बिग रेस्टोरेंट. दिस इज, तो वो फास्ट फूड का खाना खराब नहीं है, आपका इनकम बढ़ गया, सो यू वांट टू गो टू अ बेटर प्लेस. थैंक यू. Hope you have liked it.